You are cared for more than you know, more than you see. So are the people in your life. You can be sure God knows all needs, and He already has a way and a plan to provide for each one. God hears our prayers. He knows the desires of our hearts. He understands our deepest longings. We will not be overlooked or forgotten. It's an easy thing to be loud. Anyone can be heard. It's hard. It's a hard thing to listen. Only the brave dare to hear. God listens to us, and we love like He does when we listen to each other too. Though those the Father has given me will come to me, and I will never reject them. God soothes us with your love. Protect us from bitterness. Show us when it's time to wisely guard our hearts and when we are to keep our arms stretched open wide, just as you did when you died for us. God is no stranger to rejection. He knows the sting of harsh words, the hurt of betrayal, the feel of nails piercing the most tender parts of who you are. He will comfort us when we feel rejected too. Others may speak into our life. Others may speak into our lives, but Jesus has the final say. He covers the lies with love. He may he heal us and help us to believe. God is tender, moving our sorrows and compassionate towards our cares. He notices and values our tears. Tears are not weakness, they are proof our hearts are alive and passionate and able to be touched. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book. God, we need your comfort and encouragement right now in this moment. Please wrap your arms around our hearts and hold us close. Put our tears into your bottle and your strength in our weary souls. If you could read a record of your tears, what would it contain? You probably can't even remember each one you have shed or why, but according to Psalm, it seems God does. God keeps our tears in His record. Perhaps it's His way of telling us your tears are not just water and salt to me. They are part of who you are. I value them because I love you. God gives attention to our tears. In doing so, He affirms that it's okay to cry. Yes, even the mascara smearing, snot dripping kind of cry. I think God sees extraordinary beauty in our ugly cries. That kind of cry is what it looks like when a human heart is laid bare and open. It's what we do when we stop trying so hard to be strong. It's our way of saying, this is too much for me. It's there, I see it, and act of worship because we finally let ourselves be humans who need God. Cry when you are sad, cry when you are happy, cry when you are angry. Let's dare to tell the story of our lives through our tears and remember that God, the author of life, is treasuring each one. God is not only on our side, He is by our side. He is not only with us, He is for us. He is not only near, He is even now working on our behalf. What then are we to say about these things? If God is for us, who is against us? God, you are always and forever us. You have the right to criticize and condemn us, and yet you choose grace and mercy instead. Help us to do the same for our own hearts, which can be hardest for. Uh, Help us to do the same for our own hearts, which can be hardest of all. I can speak harsher words to myself than I ever would to someone I love. It took me a long time to see that doing this grieves God just as much as if I said them to someone else. When my internal critics gets loud, I can ask, would I say this to a sister in Christ? If the answer is no, then my heart doesn't need to hear this either. David encouraged himself in love. Yes, we are called to encourage others, but we can also be an encourager to ourselves. God is for us. That means we can be too. Your past is full of grace. Your future is full of hope. Your day is full of possibilities. As far the east is from as far as the east is from the west, so far has He removed our transgressions from us. God, we want to bring you joy and to obey. Help us to truly change. Protect us from temptation. Give us the strength to choose what honors you in all we say and do. This is our sincere desire. God keeps no record of wrongs. He doesn't have a file with your past in it. He's not racking up fines for you to pay when you get to the gates of glory. When we deeply genuinely believe we are forgiven, then we begin to respond from a new place. We have appreciation for the one who has canceled our debts, and we long to serve out of joy. If you have been worried that the hard times you are facing are simply because you have to pay your dues, then you can let that burden go. God doesn't work that way with us. When He forgives us, He means it. Today, we can freely approach God's throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. It is useless for you to work so hard from early morning until late at night, anxiously working for food to eat, for God gives rest to His loved ones. God, when we feel the need to strive, remind us that we aren't meant to work alone. We can draw from your strength. When we keep trying to prove ourselves, help us to know that we already have your approval. You love us the way we are. When we begin to listen to all the demands around us, call us back to your peace and awareness that your presence is with us always. Instead of holding yourself together, can you let yourself be held by the one who loves you? Thank you very much for listening to these spiritual growth affirmations, and I'm looking forward to bringing you more of these videos in the future. Have a great day. My name is Ryan, and I see you on the other side.